Well, hello. So hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're someone who is interested in studying abroad, or if you're someone who is actually going away soon to study abroad, then this video is for you. I'm here to provide you with my tips, with my advices to hopefully make your experience a little bit easier. Also, if you're actually someone who is interested in studying abroad, but you're still not fully convinced yet, if you still have some doubts, then you came to the right place. Then this video is for you, because I'm here to give you that little push, that little bit of less motivation to get you to study abroad. I don't really want to force my opinion on anyone. I'm just here to talk from my perspective and from my experiences as someone who studies abroad and as someone who has been living abroad for years now. Actually, I know that the topic of this video is not really favorable because of the current situation, but this is a timeless video, so my advices and my tips are going to be valid for the end of times. Just before we start, please make sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video if you feel like it. That really helps me out a lot. Also, just a little background info about me. I have been studying abroad in Paris since last September, and also before that I've been traveling around and working as a model since I was 17 years old. So I know a lot about living abroad far away from your family and your loved ones. And yeah, let's start with my tips. Okay, so my first tip for you would be to actually go and visit the place, the city, the country where you want to study before you commit yourself to move there. I know that it might sound like a really fun idea to just like pick some random place on the map and then commit yourself to move there, but I think that it's also nice to actually go there first and see how you vibe with the city. I think that sometimes the idea that we have about a place in our heads are actually so much different than what the city and the country is actually like in real life. I know that it's not really something that we can do at the moment, but hopefully when this is all going to be over and we can go and travel again, I think that if you're in a position where you can afford to visit the place where you want to study before you actually commit yourself to move there or study there, then I think it's a really important step before you go and study abroad, just to feel how you vibe with the city, just to see how the people are, just to see the city in general. I think it's a really good idea. Okay, so my next tip for you would be do not let your family and relationships hold you back. I think that many people have this desire for traveling and living abroad and studying abroad, but they are holding themselves back because they think that if they would go, they would miss their families too much. And I also think that family is like an important part of your life, of course, but it's not everything. And just because you move abroad, it doesn't mean that you lose all your connection with them. We live in a digital world where we have internet and where we can still be connected to our loved ones, where we can still talk to them. And also I feel like since moving abroad, my relationship with my family has been actually a lot better than when I'm back home and when I actually live with them. I think that distance just kind of makes everything look better. Also, I think that when you are far away from your family, you probably even appreciate them more, and then it's just also really nice to go home for the holidays. Also, I think that if you're saying no from the beginning to trying new things, then you're basically sabotaging yourself from experiencing amazing new things. I think that you can make friends and meet amazing people no matter where you are on the planet. There are nice people everywhere, and this really isn't something that should hold you back from studying abroad. What's ahead of you is always more exciting than what's behind you. Do not let anyone hold you back from what you really want to do and from your dreams. And yeah. Okay, so my third tip would be to learn about the language and about the country before you go. This might seem like a no-brainer for some people, but I still think that it's important to mention it here. I personally have been learning French for 6 years before actually going there to study. Also, I think that I wouldn't even have been able to get accepted to university there if I didn't have a valid language certificate. You're actually making yourself a huge favor if you read ahead and learn about the country before you go there. Just things such as how to open a bank account there, how does the transportation system works there, how to get the national insurance there. If you learn about all of these things before you go there, you're going to save so much time on these things and you're going to feel so much more confident going there and moving there if you already know how everything works. Of course, there's still going to be little surprises that nobody tells you about, but I still think that it's important to prepare yourself as much as you can, let alone the fact that people have also a different view on you. If they can see that you already know so much about their culture and their language and their country, a fork makes all the difference. So my next tip would be to have a printed copy of all of your documents, just like student card, ID, university acceptance letter, etc, etc, etc. The number of times that I have been asked to show my student ID, my university acceptance letter. I'm not sure how this works in other countries, but in France, you basically cannot do anything if you don't have the printed versions of your documents with you. You cannot open a bank account, you cannot get the sécurité sociale. It's just easier to have all of these things already printed out, especially when you're traveling, because you never know, maybe your phone won't work or something is going to happen. I think it's just good for like insurance policy. Okay, so my next tip would be to make a list of the things you have to take. I think that as humans, we have a tendency to overpack, but then you don't really think about the fact that you will also buy new things once you arrive in the country. I always have a problem with this and I always tend to overpack myself, and then when I'm there, I have way too many things and I cannot bring anything home. Also, ask ahead what you will be given at your accommodation. Pack less than what you think you need, because you will buy new things anyway. Only pack the things that you cannot live without. Also, you will probably buy souvenirs and gifts for your friends as well, so those things take up a lot of space, more than you would think. Okay, so my next advice would be to join a Facebook group for foreigners in the city, and also if there's a Facebook group for the students of your university, then also I think it's a good idea to join that Facebook group as well. I'm like such an advocate for Facebook groups. It's because so many times you can find so many useful information there, and also I just met so many cool people in like Facebook groups that I'm still friends with, so I think it's especially a good idea to join a Facebook group for foreigners from your country who live in the same city. I think it's just nice to talk to someone who knows what you're going through and who can help you out with administration. That being said, don't forget to also hang out with people from other countries. Do not make the mistake to only hang out with people from your own country. I know that it's a nice thing to talk to people who already speak your language and who are familiar with your culture, but diversity is what makes the world go round. I think that it is actually the best thing about studying abroad is that you meet so many cool people from all different places in the world. It's just such an uplifting and interesting experience, and I think that this is probably my favorite thing about studying abroad. And so my last tip would be, if you can, try to discover the country and travel around with friends and also alone. I'm like scared to even mention the word travel these days, but hopefully once this is all over and we can move around freely again. Of course, only if you have the financial means, but I think that it's a really nice idea to just get out of town a little bit with friends, go on a weekend trip, even to just go on trips on your own if you already live with a bunch of roommates and you want to spend some time alone. I think it's a really nice idea to just go out a little bit and explore your new country, go to new cities. Sometimes when I have free days, I feel too lazy to even move and I just want to stay in and watch Netflix. That's totally fine as well, but almost 99% of the time when I actually go out and do something, I feel better. So I think that this is the end of this video. I hope that you found it helpful and I hope that it gave you some ideas. Just to like conclude this video, I just want to say that I'm really glad that I decided to study abroad. I think that it made me grow so much as a person. I'm so much more confident ever since I'm studying abroad and living abroad, and yeah, I pretty much just feel like I can do anything. If I can deal with the French administration, I feel like I can do anything. It gave me a boost of confidence. I learned so much more about about myself. It's just something that I would really recommend anyone to do if you're someone who is in a situation where you can make the choice to study abroad or not. I would say definitely go for it. Even if it's scary in the beginning, you will get the hang of it after a while and you will feel so proud of yourself for actually doing it and going for it and following your dreams and not letting anyone hold you back. I'm so glad that I decided to study abroad and to move abroad because I just really feel like I find my place in the world. Just again, please make sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video if you enjoyed it. Also let me know in the comments if you have any more tips or advices for me on the topic of studying abroad. And yeah, I will see you very soon.